Hey, what's going on, guys?
So I just wanted to talk to you about concept and why I believe in the idea that we're all just concepts caught in a physical stall. That's pissed me off. A physical stall to practice out and understand which concepts lead to the God complex, which is every single sentient concept that wants to have control over itself in the environment, getting that without it colliding into anyone else's desire and ability to do the same. Now, we look at ourselves and for the most part, we're in this state of, we have our general ideas, most of them being about a God who created everything and who structured and designed with all the things that are happening. And in that, all we know so far is this is happening. This is what's happening. This is what's happening. All that stuff. And you look at the designers of a video game, graphic designers, and you see that when it comes to the difference between us and the concepts in a video game, we like to separate our consciousness as being unique to our physical flesh, but consciousness, it doesn't appear to be unique to flesh because consciousness is something that's observed by the natural flow of the universe itself. Electricity expresses consciousness whenever it searches for the best route to take in order to complete a circuit. Consciousness just seems to be an idea that exists across concept of existence and all. And so, that being said, we look at video games, and because we can say how video games work, and a lot of us can't, because we can say these video games are just code, and this code does this, and this code makes it look like whenever this touches this, that it collides. This code makes it so that whenever it runs into this, it stops it. That's what this code does. And the difference between us and the video games is that we're missing an explanation of the code that makes my hand stop whenever we do this. Now, I'm using code metaphorically. I don't necessarily see everything like a computer. Don't isolate these moments and try to develop an entire understanding of my character, okay? So, all that being said, same thing is occurring with movies, with TV shows, anything that's thinking and has a logical response. The fact that we can judge movies, the fact that we can judge TV shows is like that of judging a person, of judging a character, a consciousness. How is this concept maintaining its ability to stay entertaining and all that stuff? Now, we say that it's because of the group of people who's making these shows, who's making these movies, the actors and actresses who are portraying these characters. However, the same way that a computer code can explain why characters in a video game collide with the wall, we are doing the same thing with these characters and these concepts in TV shows and movies. We just have an explanation from our physiological point of view, not from our beginning of existence point of view, but from our physiological limitation, creating logical reaches from that point. Now, if you remove all this, and you acknowledge the fact that likely inside of a video game where consciousness is occurring because there are systems operating that are capable of failure in the first place, that because we have the agreed upon concept, that if we all look at Kratos, for example, in God of War, and we all agree that Kratos is conscious, that'll create the concept of Kratos' consciousness in one way or another inside of that video game character. And then because that concept can become conscious, can develop the natural state of observing itself and saying, what the fuck is going on? Even if it's short range, that it is still almost as real as we are. The only difference is that we cannot say that this is physically happening. You know what I mean? So all I'm saying is, remove all of the attempted explanations that eventually reach a dead end and go nowhere and don't explain really what's going on, other than just looking at the patterns of physiological behavior which seem to have started at the dead end of logic that can no longer be achieved, and so physiological response asserted itself, which was fight or fuck, and whoever wins has it. You know what I mean? And so that's what I think is going on here. Now, obviously, it's not the only thing that I think is going on here. It'll probably be what I'm remembered for in a lot of ways, but it's not the only thing I think. I just want to make that clear. I don't only think this. I think a lot of things are happening, but this is one of the most important aspects for me right now. I think that every concept is actually real, and that the only thing separating it is our physiological desire to defend our concept as actually being the ones happening. And that's why if you pay attention to life, it seems like all of our logical structure of character and events and social happening is getting to be so obvious and so within this obvious range of logic that seems so uncanny to real existence for some reason. And it's because, people kept lying. And so now we're getting to that point of, hey, this may not be the real life. It might have gone to someone else. You know what I mean? So, granted, I don't believe in the real life thing. That's one piecing. I think that every concept is real. And as you interact with them and as you accept this idea, the more that those things are going to become true, the more that these things are going to actually start giving you the ability to interact with them. You cannot step on any ground that you don't believe exists. Think about it like this. Babies, when they're born, right? Physiologically, they can't walk. What if a baby has to believe that the ground won't disappear before they can gain the confidence to actually start crawling and standing up? That's fucking crazy, right? That's absolutely that. I just fucking thought of that. So, okay, yeah. So everything is real. Every concept is real. And I'm always figuring out how to stop the ones that would turn life into a mess. Specifically, like your Negans, which Negan was an interesting character. I thought Negan was cool because Negan's story, his whole point of view, is literally just like, fuck it, y'all want to act like animals? That's what this is. That was his whole king. That was his whole fucking like reign over the area. Is like, y'all want to act like animals? I guess that's what you are. It was really cool. And then there are your guys that claim life is just miserable chaos. I'm personally been assigned by myself or just existence as a conscious thing to fight those guys and keep them from spreading, because those guys are a really sick virus that they discreate order, they discreate logic, they discreate control, and they do it because they're upset that they can't do whatever they want. They're upset that they haven't achieved God complex, but they don't realize that makes it harder for everything to achieve God complex, which is actually possible, actually real, and where I'm actually going, regardless of what you have to say, because you cannot explain without reaching a logical dead end what this is. So, with all that being said, every single concept that I've ever met, every single concept that I've ever come across reaches that same dead end and always leads me back to Nasimev, which is nothing was something, and that confused everything and started consciousness. So what the fuck is going on? Because how we all talk, bro, what is happening? What should we do? Bro, what is happening? What should we do? Yeah, I figured this out. And so, I'm gonna start probably going around hanging out with TV characters, ending up in video games and shit, like in the background, and like being in movies and stuff. And you guys are physiologically gonna be like, oh, he's just an actor. Oh, he's just this. Oh, he's just famous. But real shit, there's like a real channel that I can walk through that if you don't believe what I'm saying, you can't. You know what I mean? So yeah, I feel like I'm a baby crawling right now, trying to figure out how to step on this very real ground that's just gonna start taking me in new directions in life. So, anyway, I have a relationship with every single concept that exists, just like everyone else. Except I respect every concept as actually being real until they start getting in the way of everyone else being real. That's when I start like being like, hey, don't you want to exist though? Why are you saying that one doesn't exist? And then I like investigate and I'm like, all right, if this one didn't do anything wrong. I get this one. This one keeps trying to claim that they're the only one that exists, and that's a problem. I don't like that. But this one doesn't do anything. Why are you doing this to this one? Why are we killing this one here? Okay, so I'm gonna go. But yeah, that's pretty much my full belief as it is right now from that point of view of concept. So, yeah. Bye, guys.